How are you all doing today? This is the Unknown Emperor, and today we're going to be playing Kingdoms Reborn, a city builder style game with a few unique aspects. This is the world generation. You can do random map seeds, map sizes, and a few other areas that you can tweak. I'm just going to pick this one. I know the map well enough, and start game. In this first episode, I'm going to run you through the basic tutorial and get a small city up and running. Throughout the series, I'm going to go through the different areas and explain different production chains. This is the opening little story that they're going to run you through. You guys can read this on your own. Basic tutorials. This is a map that has been generated. Each one of these little icons represents a different resource, and each one of these providences is basically a little building tile. If you click on the tile, it'll let you know what's there and how much it cost. I'm going to come up here. This has a bunch of random different resources, which will be a good starting point. I'm going to choose this place. These are the initial resources you get. Not a big deal. And we unlock bridges, and we shall pick our town hall location. Pretty small area, but doesn't matter. The wheat seeds and the trading post you get fairly early in the game. The investment cards you cannot get. If you pass on it here, you won't have ability to get it further on down the line. No, I don't need a guide, but the choose biome bonus comes up. I always choose farming. You can choose the coal burners, but once you get a coal mine, those are pretty much obsolete. No, I don't need the guide, and we'll make a purchase of a big old piece of land up here. We're gonna clear cut a good portion of that over there and put our investment card in our town hall. You can come up here and turn on different overlays. I can normally turn the trees off so I can see what's going on, and the fertility one shows you where you should build your farms. The green is where you want to build. Anything less than that will be suboptimal for the fertility. We'll see if they fix the fertility bug. They have not. For a solution to this, just hit Control F and that turns the fertility off. And we'll turn off the overlays so we can see. We're going to rename our town here. Classic capital name. We're going to go with Rome. Whoop. And they obviously need some housing, but we don't want to build in the farm area. So we shall simply just do a set of... We'll start up here. We'll expand upward if need be. Eight will be good enough. I typically come down here, as you see. We'll go through the toolbar on the left. This is the time of the year, the amount of years, the temperature, the amount of money you have in stock, and the currently money you're making. Adults, kids, people needing housing, the amount of housing you have, storage, happiness, and your different resources. You have and the luxury tier items, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. If you come down here on the bottom, this is their little card system. This allows you to gather resources, build basic structures, farms, bridges, storage, houses, roads, and demolish. You click on the cards. These are the structures that it lets you build. I typically take the mushroom farm and the fishing lodge right out the gate. And you have to wait time to get new cars or you can spend money. This is a speed boost. Increases speed by 50% for 50 seconds. Later on down the game, these won't be as useful. So let's place our little fishing lodge, 124%, and we'll toss mushroom farm right there. And since we have acquired our first house, we have acquired technology tree. I usually take foreign trade, then basic medicine, are the two I normally start off with. Gonna put the speed up there and let our people go to town. The fishing and the mushroom farm will produce a lot of food. But do remember, we technically do not have a source of timber until you get the forester up. Foresters require a big area of open land to harvest trees. As long as you don't go crazy on the building, 2 foresters next to each other usually do the trick. I'm gonna expand our stockpile just because these do fill up fairly quick in the beginning of the game. Take a nice little dirt road, and that will put us there. As you can see, our villagers are building, and we can upgrade these items. This little hint shows you how to prioritize what buildings get worked in and what gets built in if you do not want anyone working there. We're definitely going to increase the workers and the tools, and we're going to come over here and we shall upgrade that. And more cards. We'll take a fishing lodge and a tavern. So another fishing lodge. You can see the yellow is the area it is currently occupying. You really don't want to cross them over. But there's not much you can do in terms of the efficiency. You just got to get the best that you can. I tend not to let them cross over, so I will put mine there at 100. And a tavern is good for increasing the happiness of your people. That'll do. And we have our first production chain card. Productivity gives you 20% bonus, 40% less income, and the frugality book, 70% upkeep. You want to choose the sustainability book and later on the passion ones, because that'll make the people happier and they'll get more production if you have very high happiness. Consuming less is always good at the beginning. So we're going to toss this card in here. As you see, we went down to 4 wood for 28 mushroom, which is good. You can use these speed bonuses at the top. Little blue arrows pop up. And we can start placing some farms. You just have to realize you have to leave some space for some other structures in the game that help boost these, and the closer some structures are to their food chain or production chain will make them even faster. You don't have to place them 100% in the green. I'm just going to arbitrarily pick a point here, and 64 is the max. That's what you want to aim for. Typically it's long and thin, or you can do a very boxy one. There's 63. That'll be fine. There's 63. The radius in which the grain mill and the granary are very large. These are going to do tulips for the time being, which is fine. We can always change them over. Ooh, a trader has arrived. I typically sell 40 tools and 40 medicine. That gives us quite a bit of cash to buy our next area. Now we gotta be careful, these are very expensive. We probably won't have the ability to buy some of these again early on, so we'll probably take the coal one. But once we get influence early on in the game, that will help. Excuse me there, I had to sneeze off screen for a second. Let me see what else can I get you guys going on here to get you going. We got the farms up and running, about to get the foreign trade up and running. We have 32 out of 25 houses. I tend to leave this middle section open a bit so that we can put the library and a few other items in the center that will increase the science bonus and population happiness. Go tech tree. As we see, we unlocked the next set. I'm going to do medicine and a trading post card right now. Really don't need it. I was explaining the labor count and the builder work pool. That means everyone is doing labor. They're cutting down trees and they are collecting resources. And the builders are just building. I mean, we have all of our people that can do something are building, whether they're moving resources around or something else. Same thing here. We'll probably plus the workers. Did we do the tool grade up here? Yeah, we'll do the tools up there. If you hover over any resources on the left here, it'll tell you specifically how much you're producing and how much you are consuming a year. Toss another speed boost down there. So our farms are going to get up and running. I typically like to get these in place fairly quickly. As you see, there is some nice farmland down here for a little wheat village. For the time being, we're just going to put some of these up and around here to get the food resources going without truly pinning in a lot of our people, which is fine. They are cold because they do not have enough firewood and or fuel to heat the homes. We turn the trees off. And we have unlocked a few cards here, so I will explain them. Cooperative fishing. If you read the card, for every 1% happiness above 60, you gain production. So right now we're going to gain 17. We'll have to upgrade our town hall first. Stats Bureau shows you the stats of the town and what you're consuming. I'm going to hold off placing that. And this is a wild card. Wild card lets you choose any card within your card deck. As you see, we've moved out of spring, so the cold was not an issue, but we do not have any wood. The slow grind of the start of any city. I will say it is very tedious no matter how much you love the series. And it says fuel is low, but I'm not too worried about that. I have a little bear wandering around the town. They do not attack the people. Mushroom farming. Gonna put caps on the mushrooms, because they will consume a lot of wood. 3 immigrants want to join the city. Yes, and we got another book. We'll take sustainability. Toss it in our mushroom farm. You can always remove the cards later, but now it's only going to use 2 wood for 28 mushrooms. We're doing well on tools and medicine for the time being. That seems to be a little glitch right there. But it is an early access game, so there is much to be expected. And so now we have the ability to come down here and we shall choose basic tools. Gotta get stone tools up and running. We shall turn one of these into medicine. We'll probably do 2 and 2, but you can change them mid-season, which is fine. They will still finish growing what's currently on there, or replant the last few rows if there's something there, space available for them to grow. And we have 3 cards, a wild card, and do we have the 500 bucks for the... Nope. And we can use the wild card. We'll probably put down a trade. We'll put down a trading port, which gives you more availability in terms to the amount of resources you can trade. I think my memory serves me, the trading post starts out lower and the trading port starts out higher. So as you see, we're going medicine there. Our people need a level tier 1 resource, a level 1 luxury resource to upgrade, and it tells you need one type of a luxury tier 1 resource to increase the level. You don't have bricks yet, but you do have stone to help increase the efficiency of the heating. Coal is more efficient than wood, obviously. We're going to let these guys get going. Always going to boost up the food. It's telling you our fuel reserve is still low. Food we're doing very well on. Producing almost triple what we would need to feed the city as a whole. We got the Employment Bureau. It allows you to micromanage the jobs you want done. The AI does a pretty decent job of filling the slots as long as you don't overburden the city with too many services and not enough population. If you grow at a nice linear level, you shall be fine. Once this gets up and running, we can trade some resources around. Once we get the basic tools as well, I think we will be fine. Now you can get an immigration office to help bring more people in, but you got to be careful because in this game the city populations tend to spike very rapidly. It was like once you get a population of about like 100 going, they will just have children continuously unless you buy one of the technologies to limit or slow down the city growth. But you got to be careful because once the city gets that large, old people start dying off and young ones don't quite fill in as fast. But that's part of the whole city building game style. You have to manage. Oh, the trade city is up and running. We can trade 240. So we're going to come down here. We're going to trade medicine. We'll trade another 40. Stone tools, steel tools. We'll trade another 40. And now we have some cash. We can upgrade our town hall. This is a tough one. I always choose beer brewing because that takes up wheat. And wheat can be either turned into beer and or bread. I always wanted to turn in bread, but you need beer for a tier 1 resource. Tool production, this is probably the better one to choose if you're a beginner because tools are hard to come by. Stone tools don't last as long as steel ones. So I'm going to choose beer. And since we have an open slot, we can put cooperative fishing in there. As you can see, our efficiency is 194. Turn off this tile. These in the upper right are goals that you want to achieve, and they will give you bonus cards that you typically don't have. So you have to get the 50 population and trade $10,000 worth of goods. Once you reach your 5 card queue, the 6 card will produce a wild card. I'm not going to show that again. And our storage is doing well. Oh, my fault. Storage is full, almost full. I typically, when I play, always put 2 little storage units in front of any resource building, just so at the very beginning they're much more efficient. The citizens have to walk wherever. As you see, they have to walk from the farm to the storage, from the fishery to the storage, and the same thing with their jobs. These yellow lines show you how far they have to walk for their job. There is a limit how far they can walk before the game will tell you that you have to build a house closer to that service building. But the closer they are, the more efficient they will become. The less time they will spend walking, the more time they will spend working, which is obviously the case in real life as well. These little green circles are telling you that the house is upgrading. There you go. Need 2 types of a luxury tier 1 item. So as we see, we already have access to coal, iron down here, and we will have more tier 1 luxury items here once we unlock the basic tool set. We still have 926 gold coins, and that's a good chunk of change right there. Same thing with that. So we're gonna have to be very efficient in what we build here. We're gonna have to increase our population fairly densely, which is fine. Just need more storage spaces. Our storage is now full. I will leave a space there for the granary, but I will come down here and toss a set of storage in there. As the food becomes more balanced, it'll take up less and less space. And there we go. We have room for basically 13 more population. It's always good to have excess food. We always want to stay ahead of the curve for it. And we will have to build some more houses. We will just come in right behind here. I try to leave some space on the edge for any structures. And we cannot build there because we are just outside our... Once you've created... hit a certain goal, you unlock the upgrades tree. This unlocks a different set of perks. I always pick either influence or wheat seeds next. Wheat seeds are the next step for a larger production chain. Influence points are always good because you can spend them to buy providences instead of going through your gold coins. So that'll take 5 minutes, but the science will increase. Up here, we'll buy a stone tool shop. Your science increases from the houses. The higher level houses you have, the more of them you have, the more science you're going to get. There are a few items, I shouldn't say items, structures in the game that will increase their productivity. And we have our stone tool shop. I accidentally clicked on a wild card, but we don't need that right now. Stone tools. You do not want to place them close to houses as the frowny faces show up, so you want to place them somewhat down here. And we can take a sustainability card from our mushroom farm and toss it over here, and they will require less stone and less wood to produce tools. We are producing 446 tulips a year and only using 32. And they are still cold because our wood is low, because we just built a whole bunch of houses here. This is your basic city to start. Nothing fancy. It's the bare bones on what is needed to get up and running. If you are a player of the city builder game style, you know that the beginning is rough and the game gets much better as you dig deeper into it and your city develops. And we got some speed boosts to use down here. And the food keeps coming in, which is good. And 3 more immigrants. And this is the passion book I was talking about. Job happiness is key to keeping your overall citizens happy. Right now it's 70%. You want to raise that up as high as possible using these books, but for the time being, since I don't have any real jobs that are that bad, I'm going to choose another sustainability book because our resources are limited and we want to get the biggest bang for the buck when it comes to them. For the time being, I'll probably just put it in the mushroom farm so we don't take up as much wood being consumed, since we don't have a forestry card up. We're just clear cutting everything we need. And once again, you get to choose between upgrades and tech. We're going to come back to the old upgrades. We're going to get ourselves a wheat seed. What we can do, since we're going to want coal, we can come down here to the wildcard. We can click the coal burner. This consumes wood and produces coal. But job happiness is low and the production is steep. And so you either have to make a choice of a low tier happiness job or somewhat high of a consumption of wood to make the charcoal. I typically do 1 and 1 because once you get a coal mine up and running over here, you can place one down in here. We'll be fine. One coal mine well leveled up and properly staffed will produce a ton of coal for the citizens to use, and it'll free up the wood here as well. And we have stone tools up and running, 3 and 3 to make 11 tools. Pretty good trade-off. And we're already producing stone tools. And this is the amount of medicine we have, medical herbs, and the actual medicine. There's a building chain to turn the herbs into medicine, which is more efficient. Rome is doing well, I will say. Other items I should cover in the beginning. I've gone over the basics, so hopefully this will get your city up and running. These are the items and chains you really want to have to start. These are the most accessible, and it is up to you where you start, what tiles you choose to pick. And as you see, the charcoal burner down here does have upgrades, and you normally want to click that. And you normally want to save the money for the time being, but I'll spend it here instead of building a coal mine, which will be coming. Your city will outpace this one burner very, very fast. 4 wood, 22 coal. It'll keep a small population heated without burning through the wood as fast. You can turn that off. Now they will not use wood to heat their homes. So that's it. That is the first episode of Kingdoms Reborn. Hope you all enjoyed it and will join me for the next one.